It's time. Batman versus Robin. Robin has been trying to find a way to live on his own, become his own superhero, but he's always in the shadow of his father, Batman. Meanwhile, Batman has been dealing with the loss of Alfred Pennyworth ever since the City of Bane event in which Bane snapped Alfred's neck. So now the question is, Alfred is mysteriously alive at the beginning of this story. What did Damian do this time? This is the Comicstorian channel where I take your favorite comic books, I break them down into an audio drama, think Audible, but for comic books. And we have a good time doing it here. We get to keep you caught up on your favorite books, which allows you to go out to the store and buy them, adding them to your collection if you choose to. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, GFUEL and Shortboxed. Shortbox will help you find graded comic books for your collection. Link is down below, and let's get into the story, shall we? Batman vs. Robin, issue number 1. The only things you really need to know up to this point is that Damian is no longer Robin. He wasn't going by that name. He blames himself for the death of Alfred, and Bruce has let it slip that he blames Damian as well. Let's get into it. Lightning cracks over Wayne Manor, illuminating someone walking up the drive. Inside, Bruce Wayne looks around at all of the old photos, memories swirling in his mind. He has no idea what force pulled him to his old home. There's a knock at the door, and Bruce opens it, his eyes widening in shock at the sight of Alfred standing before him. "Master Bruce, is it really you?" Alfred asks. Alfred pushes inside as Bruce stares at him. "Whoever you are, this is an unforgivably poor taste. Alfred Pennyworth is dead," Bruce says, but Alfred turns on him, warning him about Bane and Thomas Wayne, what they have planned. Bruce looks at Alfred in shock, knowing that this would have been Alfred's last memories before he died. He puts a hand on his old friend, his old father figure, questioning how he could have possibly gotten here and be alive. Alfred doesn't know, so the two head into the kitchen to have some of Alfred's favorite tea. The next hour, Bruce is questioning Alfred, asking him things that only the real Alfred would know. They both finally agree to head down into the cave and give the man a full medical exam. Bruce watches as Alfred goes straight to the grandfather clock, putting in the time of his parents' death. And they head down. It's at that moment that Bruce turns the power on to the Batcave. "Well, well, look what the Bat dragged in," Damian says from his spot on the giant penny, flanked by Tim Hunter and Jakeem Thunder. Bruce whispers over his shoulder to Alfred. "He hasn't seen you yet. Hide," he tells Alfred, and Bruce doesn't hesitate, walking forward. "Took you long enough. I thought you'd never come down," Damian says with a smile as he stands. He turns to Hunter, ordering him to attack, but Bruce leaps out of the way as the magical energy explodes around him, ripping through the cave. As the smoke clears, Damian turns to his friends. "He got clear! Find him and bring him to me!" Damian snaps, but a voice calls out of the shadows as Batman steps out of the smoke. "I give the orders here, Damian, not you. This is still my house," he growls, throwing a batarang, but Damian leaps out of the way. "Ha! Batarang snare, your go-to. You insult me!" Hunter fires another blast, but Batman dodges it, slipping into the shadows. The young wizard steps forward, looking for the bat, but Batman is behind him, knocking him unconscious, snapping the screwdriver that he was using as a wand. He turns as he hears Damian's voice. "This is a declaration of war, Father. I've grown exhausted waiting for you to leave your mantle to its rightful owner." "Me!" Damian shouts. Batman turns as Thunder steps forward, calling forth the genie that does what he commands. He brings the T-Rex to life, riding atop it as it roars and rushes at him, but Batman leaps out of the way of its stamping feet. "Damian, whatever's speaking through you, stop this right now! You're putting these boys into danger!" Batman shouts, leaping out of the way as several attacks come from the T-Rex, throwing a smoke bomb into the air, knocking Thunder out. Batman keeps moving, but something grabs him from behind, throwing him to the ground. He looks up in shock as several of the old Robin and Batman costumes have come back to life and have begun to attack him. "It's time to put you out of my misery, detective. I've grown to hate you as you hate me. You left me on my own, rejected me. Why? Because I have Al Ghul blood running through my veins?" Damian says as he leaps down, watching his father be beaten by his own suits. "Is it because you blame me for Alfred's death?" Damian asks, but he turns as someone steps out of the shadows. "That isn't true. There's no need for blame at all, Master Damian. I beg you to come to your senses," Alfred says quietly. Batman continues to fight, using a torch to burn the costumes, but Alfred steps forward, offering Damian a hug. Robin moves towards him, but blades suddenly snap out of his gloves. I don't know what to say other than I'm not falling for it. He moves into attack, but Batman is there, knocking him away. Damn it, Damian! He grabs Alfred, pulling him out of the mix, and they move through the darkness of the cave with Robin following him, Tim Hunter at his side. Run all you like, father! I will find you! Damian shouts into the shadows, and they keep moving, with Tim firing magical blasts at them. Batman and Alfred finally come to a cliff, unable to continue forward. They turn, seeing Damian and Tim Hunter there right behind them. I thought we could get past our disagreements, father, to find some way to be the son that you wanted. But I found something from your own past that finally opened up my eyes, Damian says, pulling out a gun and aiming it at Batman's chest. My parting gift, father. Closure. Your life ends as it began. I only wish that you were wearing pearls, Damian says, and Batman moves to protect Alfred as the gun goes off, the rounds ripping through Bruce's chest. They both tumble off into the darkness with Damian staring into the pit below them. Farewell, father. But Damian is unaware that Batman has grasped a hidden ladder. Shortly after, the Batboat pulls away into the harbor, with Bruce explaining to Alfred that he had to upgrade the body armor, and that he managed to see the long-forgotten ladder as they began to fall. Bruce explains to Alfred that they have to find somewhere to keep him safe while he tries to figure out what's going on. It doesn't matter, he's my family too, Alfred tells him, refusing to be kept safe. Bruce stares at him for a moment before embarrassing him in a hug. I miss you, old friend, Bruce says gently. Meanwhile, Damian is returned to the Tower of Fate, snapping his fingers, and Tim and Jakeem fall to the ground. I regret to inform you that the detective lives. You failed. Don't give me children next time, then. The voice nods, offering Damian a magical, powerful item for him to use in his war. Meanwhile, over on the docks, Batman has taken stock of what items he has, aware that he is underprepared for this fight, knowing that the Bat family comms are probably compromised. But he does have one item that they can use, a magical key that Zatanna gave him a long time ago. This will allow him to travel to her house through any door. And as we're obviously facing a magical threat, she's my go-to expert, he tells Alfred as they step through the door, but the house is empty. He pushes through into her study, where he finds Zatanna floating in the air, strangled by a noose. Hello, Bruce, she whispers in a strange voice, and he begins to reach for her as she explains that she has been caught in Schrodinger's noose. I am both alive and dead, for now, she whispers. The one punishing us is intent on making us suffer. She warns him, telling him that the various members of the Justice League Dark have been caught in several curses, taking them out of the equation. This must be stopped. Something in the ether is terribly wrong, Bruce, and it's Damian's doing. But Batman doesn't understand, questioning how Damian could have done all of this. I don't know, but you have to find out quickly, because death is not off the table for any of us. Use the key. It will take you to a secluded place new to you, the place that keeps all of the secrets. There you may learn exactly what Damian did. Batman nods, putting the key into another lock and opening the door into a white room. At the Tower of Fate, Damian throws aside the magical weapons around him. These are trinkets, playthings. If I'm going to topple Batman, I require greater resources. You owe me that much. How else but through me would Mother's soul have met the devil Nezha? Damian asks, and he looks up at the demon flanked by his great-grandmother. And that is the first issue of Batman vs. Robin. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It does seem to be in continuity, but it seems to be taking place either before or after the whole Dark Crisis event in which Batman died, but now it apparently isn't dead. I don't quite know. But it is in continuity, and it'll probably all link together at a different time. If anything, it's definitely in Batman and Robin's continuity with their ongoing battle. If you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and when the next issue comes out, I'll make sure I cover it. You can easily find it by searching Batman vs. Robin Complete Story Part 2, or you can just subscribe and see it when it comes out. I would appreciate any support over here. And I'll see you next time, right here at the channel.